Deleted Station, September 17, 1973. Good evening. Now, when Ruber walked out for money, his ideas and beliefs concerning work were divorced from his ideas about creativity. He does feel a strong responsibility to hold his own financially. Poverty in youth was counterbalanced by ideas of wealth because of the father's background. Ruber hoped his talent would bring him some kind of magical translation of his father's supposed wealth. Working alone had a magic, yet while money came from someplace else, working out the weight of financial desire did not rest upon creativity. He wrote despite the fact that he had to work, and out of love of writing, when work in terms of making money was applied to writing. Then divisions occurred in his attitude as to what might be sellable and bring money, and therefore fall into the work category, and what might not be sellable but highly creative regardless. Summarily, particularly in the beginning, and the poetry in general were dubious from a work sales standpoint, and therefore suspect in writing time. He has always had some kind of writing schedule. The confusion about it has to do with his interpretation of work and creativity. Often, he tried to black out creative ideas he feared were not sellable or work. Today, he was afraid, for one thing, that if he left himself alone, he would just write poetry that very well might not sell. He feels he is his own emperor, and as an emperor must see that he produces sellable work. Creatively, however, he wants to go full-blast regardless, and that is the way, of course, that he produces his best work. His attitude in his own way is the same as you mentioned earlier this evening, in that he believes he is lucky not to have to work out, and so must make what he is doing pay. You talk about the time clock got through to him in the past only too well. The amount of time is not important, but his attitude toward it is. You told him once he could not punch a time clock. He has been trying to show you that he can. He felt that with his natural spontaneity great discipline must be used, as given before. Working home means working home. So he shut down impulses that might make him become distracted or want to go out when others were working. Breaking schedule brought some of this to consciousness. It was carried to such an extreme finally that often, at least, his best creativity came after hours. The schedule became nearly an obsession. It had to be broken. If he chooses to work hourly again, it will be a new, fresh, conscious decision. For both of you, however, you must understand that work was the rule for a long time. Take your break. Give us a moment. He feels that he has taken a chance that you have not taken, staking financial survival on creative work. But here also is one of the rubs, for both of you used to take it for granted that real creativity did not sell. So Ruber became somewhat suspicious when he considered creativity of his own, and afraid that it would not sell because it was creative. He felt therefore that he had to make his way of life pay. He used to feel that you were accusing him when you said that he did not know what it was to punch a time clock, meaning that he did not have the guts or the ability. At the time, you had not chosen that source either, but very briefly. Creative work was his joy. But that creativity also had more and more connotations that applied to work and money. It had to pay off. It had to be scheduled, and even the time within the writing hours was watched so that it was productive. At the same time, distractions were minimized, impulses to move away from the desk cut down, and daydreaming, dream recall, and out of bodies became not business, not work. Naps in the day meant laziness. If you were working out, Ruber thought, you could not do this. Now, there have been improvements of late. Do you agree with that statement? Ralph said, yes. They said, you considered them in a good light, and remembered what I said about absolutes. Ruber, however, sensing some improvement, wanted instant, complete recovery, and while he handled this better than in the past, tell him, nevertheless, at his end, he used absolutes again. Tell him to keep that in mind. Your morning behavior, again, and the behavior in general, has been of great help. His study of my book will be of greater help. His ideas concerning out-of-bodies are important. He is waiting for the Benton check, which will come through. He is impatient because he likes me working on a book for him. The improvements do show that his beliefs are changing, and some of his anger today was simply energy that has been withholding from himself for fear that it would not be correctly used. He is feeling impulses to go out, for example, for walks that he did not feel before, and be more physically active, while at the same time he does not yet feel able to perform to his satisfaction. Also, dropping the schedule and my behest, the conflicts are more out in the open, so that anger is actually a recognition of impulse. Frustration at not being able to follow through adequately, and the conflict between feeling the impulses and the feeling that he should be at his schedule. The schedule itself, with the beliefs he held, blinded him to the impulses because he would not allow them to emerge. I want him to continue with my book, and when he reaches the portions on point of power and natural hypnosis, I will give him instructions so that both of you together spend 5 minutes a day at each exercise. This will double their effects. Ruber's insights, written in the margin of my book, about the correlations between his physical beliefs and his work beliefs are correct and important. Your affirmation that his body can perform better is also of great help, for those body beliefs also have to be tackled. He is beginning now with those. It is extremely important that he not concentrate upon the problem. Underline 10 times. Your idea about paintings and your list of correspondence is excellent. Ruber's intuitions will also help you there. The box and the 7 will do even better. Tell him he has no worries about aspects that are justified. If he thinks in terms of doing what he wants to do, even if he assigns time to the pursuits, he is better off than labeling anything work. Out of bodies, writing and spontaneous impressions are all things he likes to do, but some fall inside his work category and some did not. He likes challenges, then have him work with them, and use them to his advantage, but do not overdo it, as is his inclination at times when he thinks in terms of absolutes. For this week, have him see how many times he can go out by himself or with you on a walk, but not a walk around the block or to the corner. A walk around the house will do. That is important. He is to continue my book and make his moves known to you, as today, for you helped him. This is bootleg material, so have him see how many times he can sit on the job, rather than have it that he must always do so every time, or not try at all. It is not a crisis if he tries a different pair of shoes and feels uncomfortable. Simply have him try again. It is important that he go with you shopping, as he has, but also that he walk outside even if he begins very slowly. If he cannot go around the block to start with, he feels despondent, but the habit of walking will grow as he gives it a chance. Again, the concentration must not be on the problem. The book is good not only for Ruber, and it is, but for many with beliefs like his, and incidentally yours, and so it will be of great benefit. He could not be consciously concerned with it, or use it properly, while producing it. This has to do with different areas of the brain being utilized. Now, a moment. When you use terms like arthritis, you are using a belief system where names are given to states of mind, exteriorized. While you believe in the system, you can find some help in it, but it is temporary, not permanent, and further binds you to a limiting system. Certain chemical changes do occur in any disease. They are mentally produced. You can physically alter the imbalance sometimes and gain relief, but another set of symptoms, physical or not, will materialize. Changing beliefs will automatically correct any imbalance in the system, and certain foods, for example, will no longer cause a given condition. In most cases, however, it is the belief in the system that works, not the elimination of the food. Ruber has a condition brought about by inhibiting physical impulses and therefore body motion. The condition can be reversed by encouraging body motion. The beliefs behind the curtailment are now being laid bare, and the body beliefs themselves are also beginning to be tackled. The negative suggestions in such books as the ones Ruber is considering buying would not help him. I suggest, if he wants to, that he use the pendulum, which is utilizing his own body's knowledge. Asking if any foods upset him. Refraining from those while walking, as I suggest with beliefs, is alright, since he is using his own abilities. Do you see the difference? Ra said, yes. Seth said his suggestions should follow the lines of inspiration in his writing requests for psychic and creative insight, while avoiding absolutes. Again, physical suggestions such as I can walk easier are fine, or my legs and knees can support my weight, but avoid suggestions like I can astonish myself, etc., of which he is so fond. I personally suggest, although he can do as he wishes, that he see himself rising at a decent hour to enjoy his day, and that he try 2 out-of bodies a week during the day, as he used to. He is improving, however. The focus upon physical changes in your rooms is good. Continue it. Ruber's ideas about out-of-bodies and death are highly important and should be pursued. I am seeing you to your mother's comfort. Psychically, she has met Daisy, Ralph noted, the deceased wife of my mother's brother Frank. They said, and is in connection with Ruber. You have friends because of your work and association with me, and your mother will be well cared for. She is psychically more a part of you than your father. He went in a different direction, as per material given at that time. Tell Ruber that others helped his mother as he helped yours. You can expect further improvements in Ruber's physical condition as he follows this station and the book. You are doing a fine job with realities. Now I will end the session, or you may have a break and other material if you prefer. Or questions? Ralph said, "Well, I guess we had better end it then." Seth said, "Then I wish you a fond good evening." Ralph said, "Thank you, Seth, and good night."